Were there any lessons that you're like, well, this was one of them, obviously you should have gigged in England as you said, but like, were there any other lessons you're like, oh fuck, I wish I had known sooner?
It's definitely who you know as well. And I hate to say that. I really hate to say that. My dad, as much as I slag my dad, and as much as I say...
The spoons!
Yeah, as much as my dad is always the punchline to a lot of my jokes, when I first started he says it's who you know. And I was like, no it isn't. If you're funny, it happens. And after 15 years in the game, I've realised it's absolutely who you know.
I mean, I think, I agree, like you can't discount the power of connections.
Yeah.
But...
yeah.
It helps if you're funny.
I mean, it absolutely helps if you're funny, but it's like, you know, there's a lot of brown nosing, there's powerful agents and stuff, and I know that, like, say for instance, if you're funnier than me, but you've got a massive agent, you'll get onto a panel show instead of me if I'm not with that agent.
Yeah.
Because why would
you meant the other way around?
Why would they want to have me on it if I'm not their client?
But the client thing as well, the whole... I've learned this a lot about trust as well.
Yeah.
Of like, because the agent already has a trust built in of like, I don't know, they're the agent of this other big act or that other act, and then let's say you're on their roster as well.
Yeah.
The panel show is going to be like, okay, we trust them to have good acts.
Yeah.
Versus there's Darren, a complete unknown. He might be absolutely hilarious, but do we trust him to deliver?
Yeah.
So it's a funny thing that of like, if you're signed up to like a big agent, you're pretty much leveraging their reputation for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you haven't proven yourself necessarily. Yeah, but they're going by, okay, the agent has good taste, we'll take you.
Yeah. And I've also learned that nobody really cares about you. It's show business, not show friends. And the Edinburgh Fringe is a lot of shite.
Is it, aye?
Yeah.
I mean, I love the madness of it. I'm not gonna lie. So this year I want to do the whole run. That's the plan.
Yeah.
And it's been last year I did 4 shows, right? 4 solos and a bunch of like little sort of not features, what they call fucking like mixed bills.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun. Like, it was absolute madness, and I loved every second of it. Like, I was so happy.
Do you know, that's okay if you want to go and do it and have fun and have a good time, and you want a gig every single night, go for it and have fun. But what I mean is, like, I feel like sometimes you're promised this gold at the end of a rainbow, and if you sign up to it, then you go for it, and then you realise there's no gold here. They're just using you to make money. They take the cut and you walk away in thousands of pounds of debt.
I mean, it depends how you do it. That's why I've big up the free fringe.
The free fringe is incredible, but you know, people are under a lot of pressure, because then they think, I can't do the free fringe because then I won't get reviewers in and all the kind of big kind of things that happen. So, but there's nothing wrong with doing the free fringe. It's like, it's the same way like maybe comedy clubs or pubs and clubs that take really large chunks of the door off you, and you think, I better not say anything because it's an amazing club. But then you realise, like, nothing's actually happening here. Like sometimes they can be coasting on the reputation that they built previously. Yeah, or you think like, oh, I'll let that venue take 70% off me because at the end of this Edinburgh run I will probably get work, and then it gets to the end of the run and you're like, I'm getting no work here, it's not changed my life. If anything, it just put me into £5,000 worth of debt. And I'm like, well, what was the purpose of this?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, big massive agencies, you're like, well, they've got Tom Hardy on their books, so I'll just sit here and take shit off them for 2 years and hopefully I'll get that big job, and the big job never comes. So that's kind of, I wish I learned that when I was younger. Like, don't ever make yourself feel worthless, or never make yourself feel like you're no good enough, or like, don't accept someone talking to you like you're a piece of shit. Like,
we're talking about, like, obviously comedy and acting, but these are things that are very much true in every aspect. I think every business you're gonna have, you know, you're gonna have promises made, and you're gonna have these big dreams, and you're gonna have people that might use you, and people that might, if they're not using you, they might not actually fully deliver what they're promising, or you might build them up in your own head. They never actually said the thing, but in your head it's like, this is it, and you're fucking sticking to it no matter what.
Yeah.
And you develop fucking tunnel vision, and you let other opportunities pass you by because you're like, this is it, I'm holding on to this for dear life.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to humanize the showbiz world, isn't it? Of like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's just people trying to make a living.
Yes.
Doing it in a very different way, you know?
Uh-huh. And there's nothing wrong with earning a living through a different path. Like, you know, it might not be at a world famous comedy club, but if you're doing it at another club and getting paid more money for it, it's just like, well, what's the difference? You're still doing it in front of a comedy crowd that love comedy. Like,
You're still doing your own comedy.
yeah, yeah.